Welcome to Colorful Peacocks, everyone. I got exciting news today. I'm going to finally clean my Fluval 307 filter that's used to filter this 40-gallon isolation / grooming tank. It's been about more than 10 months I haven't cleaned the filter. You can bet that there'll be a lot of nasty crap inside, and I can't wait to open it up and get it cleaned out. Recently, say a week ago, I did change the water out of this tank. I don't change water that much because the amount of bio load isn't that high in this tank. There's currently only 5 fish inside, so I only really need to change the water out every few weeks. However, the water flow rate out of the filter outtake has been slowing down little by little over the past 10 months or so. I have not touched this filter whatsoever, so I'm gonna get it opened up and get it cleaned out, and I'm gonna try to show the whole process from start to finish without cutting any of it out. So here we go. As you can see over there is the filter down there. I'm gonna go ahead and get it disconnected. That it should be plugged in to this nearest receptacle right here. I usually have my plugs all labeled, but I didn't get to do this one, so yeah, I unplugged it. I confirmed that the water flow stopped into that tank, so I'm gonna engage the shutoff valve, which is this one. In the up position, the flow is completely shut off. So the flow rate is adjustable on these Fluval 307s. So I usually leave it on the maximum flow position, and if you find the flow to be too strong, you can adjust this. I've shown this in my past videos. So I have it shut off right now, so when I go and open it up, water won't flow out. So and in order to detach the input and output hose, you have to engage this flapper right here, and as easy as that, just have some remaining water down there. It the rest of the tank shouldn't drain out because I got the shutoff valve engaged. So it's very important that this is fully engaged so you don't accidentally drain out the whole tank. So here we go. I can remove the whole filter. Now, for some people, if you happen to clean your filter very frequently, you don't have to bring the whole unit up. You can just remove the top portion, the intake, the whole top portion with the motor housing, and only bring this bottom portion with the filter units upstairs, to wherever you need to go to get cleaned out. So let me shut off the camera and move everything upstairs into my garage, and then I'm gonna bring the 307 upstairs, get it set up so we can clean everything out. So stay tuned. I got the Fluval 307 moved upstairs now into the sink that's in my garage. So let me flip the camera over. There's the bad boy. So let me go to get it open up and get everything cleaned out. So here's the how do you call these? The open and closing flaps. I've got it lift up. However, you can't can remove it without fully removing the bottom portion as well. You see the bottom portion is getting held up with these two little things. Same thing on both sides. So here we go. Shake all the water loose. Wow. And just as I suspected, there are so many Malaysian trumpet snails on here. I'm gonna have to shake out as much of them out so they don't make themselves inside my my plumbing pipe, end up clogging my plumbing pipe and causing major damage. Okay, so clean that piece out. And the impeller, I'm checking the condition of the impeller. It's not bad. I just give it a rinse. Put it back in. I've seen it in the past where if you leave it unattended for long enough, this output, you see this output input outlet or inlet can get trapped with detritus. So the condition of this still looks pretty good. So if you ever find crap that's clogging up any of the openings, you can use something like this to put it in there and get it cleaned out. So this is still in pretty good condition. I'm gonna put it aside. Okay, then I'm gonna take care of. Some people save this aquarium water and then they will dump the aquarium water into a water bucket first, and then they will only clean all of their filters with that's full of beneficial bacteria. They will only rinse that in aquarium water without killing all the beneficial bacteria. Now, as you can see, just as I suspected, I got so many Malaysian trumpet snails that's living in my filter. Look, these are hard shells. They're like babies. They can grow up to like half an inch in size maybe. So I'm gonna try to get rid of all of these without having them make their way into my piping. I don't know if they can survive into my plumbing pipes, but just in case, you know. As you can see, there's some small ones on the sides. Oh, there's all kinds of them on the bottom. It's not looking good, guys. I thought this was just gonna be a quick and easy job, but with all these trumpet snails in the way, it's just gonna delay. See, I'm dumping out the water. I'm trying not to get any of the snails. Oh yeah. Oh, I already dumped some out because there's full of them on the bottom too. So it's a good thing that I have some kind of a filter or stopper by my sink outlet. So it's stopping some of the snails from flowing out. It's just making my job more difficult, actually. So this is my mechanical filters. See, it's got snails all over the place. I gotta say, guys, this is the first time I ever had to face this problem. Usually the cleanup of these filters should be like easy as cake. It's usually a 10-15 minute job, but with these snails, you see there's some snails. I'm gonna have to try to get rid of them outside of the tanks. They don't make it into my pipe. Just gonna put this aside first. these are the detritus that I will need to rinse out, but I have to get rid of any and all of these snails as possible. See, they're all over all the surfaces. These snails are really making this into a difficult job. Hang on a second. I didn't think this was gonna turn to such a snail cleanup job. So has anybody ever encountered such a snail infestations like this, and is it actually a major issue for your plumbing pipes, your household plumbing pipes? If anybody who has ever experienced this, please let me know what your experience or any suggestions or advice that you may have, and I would really be appreciated. Because the last thing I need for in my plumbing pipe is for some major backup or something. It's almost at this point, it's almost easier if I have a water bucket for me to rinse out any of the remaining snails that's stuck to the surfaces of these containers, you see. I could just use my hand to get rid of them. These don't have anything on them, so actually they still do. I feel them with my fingers. That's the problem. Let me get a bucket of water, guys, so I can at least shake the snails off inside the bucket. As you can see, these are stacked up. Usually I don't rinse out these biological medias because they're full of beneficial bacteria. So I don't want to get rid of all the beneficial bacteria by rinsing them with tap water. So I'm just washing the sides of this tray by hand just to get rid of any of the snails that's, you see, there's some snails on the sides of the container, so I'm just getting rid of that. However, if the bioload inside your tank is not too high and you don't care about saving any of the beneficial bacteria inside your biofilters, you can feel free to rinse them under tap water if you have enough substrate inside your tank to house enough beneficial bacteria inside your aquarium without having to rely on the biofilter. As you can see, I got my bucket of water down here. That's how I've been rinsing this the bottom of the container out, just like this. Usually this step is not required, but like I said, I was concerned with my Malaysian trumpet snails infestation. So let's resume our exciting cleaning process. This is why it's slowing everything down. You see these snails? This is why it's slowing everything down. You see these snails? Jesus. Hobby. The first time I discovered these snails was shortly after I bought some aquarium plants from somebody on Facebook Marketplace. Ever since then, they've infested all of my aquariums. That's why I'm a little bit mad about this. I'm finding snails all over the place. Oh yeah, see, they're in my tank now. Now I'm gonna have no choice but to squeeze them out into this bucket first, because they attach themselves into. See, I can see a lot of them. They attach themselves to my filter film. Like I said, this step is usually not required. This is sort of a worst case example of how this should be done. So I apologize about this, guys. Hopefully you don't run into this problem in your filter or aquarium. Hopefully they're not living inside my my biofilters. Actually, here's a couple. I was wrong. So all I have to do now is really rinse them out with strong water. I gotta tell you, for 10 months worth of time without maintenance, these filter pads still don't look too bad. They don't look too bad. So I'm gonna have to replace them with my filter floss pads, which I do. I'm gonna have to cut some into shape, and so I'm just gonna not clean these and throw them away. But these are still in good shape, so I will clean them out as much as possible. Now, if you ever, in the summertime, if you ever keep gardens or flowers or whatever, trees and shrubs, you can save these. You can squeeze these detritus into a bucket of water, and they're good nutrient for your plants. They actually sell fish emulsions at your home garden store as fertilizers. So these are essentially free fertilizers. This will require a strong water flow to get all the detritus cleaned out of it, and a lot of squeezing. In the summertime, if you have access to hoses with small nozzle hoses that will give you strong water flow, you can rinse it out quicker that way. So right now we're in the middle of winter here. So when the water is starting to run clear, that's how you know it's clean enough. Sorry about the lengthy video. I mentioned I wasn't going to cut any of it out, so At least I'll keep this as realistic as possible, so you can see that as a fish keeper, what kind of things that you'll need to do in order to maintain a healthy aquarium. This one is really dirty. Squeezing it pretty hard so I can get most of that detritus out. Okay, 2 more pads to do. Last one. I'm getting all wet. Okay. While I let that drain, let me go get some of my filter cloths. Look how nasty this is. It's nasty. Really nasty creatures. So I nearly gave myself a bath here. Okay, I think you've seen enough of that. Now it's time to piece everything back together. This lifter over here was originally meant for easy removal. However, it's not entirely that useful because you end up having to remove every tray anyways. Wow. I have to dump out all these snails inside this tank yet, inside this container yet. Look, I don't know if you can see. It's so nasty. I'm using hot water here. Hopefully with the hot water I can get all the snails to dislodge themselves so I can dump them out easier. Okay, we'll consider that good. So I'm going to use this as a template to cut out new filter pots. I use these polyfills. I don't know, they're like less than $10 for a big roll in Walmart. They come in a sheet like this for people to make whatever stuffed animals or blankets out of them, as you can see. Just use this as a template and just cut out a couple of them. Doesn't have to be very precise, as long as they'll fit. See, there's one of them. And, there's another one. Okay, close enough. So, I mean, I also use the same thing for my FX4 running my downstairs 75-gallon aquarium. So now I just want to figure out the order of my biological filters. All right, as you can see, there's this 1/3 of portion on the left-hand side. is how the filter should sit. So from what I remember, maybe the coarse ones with the thimble face the outside, and then the pink ones faces the inside. I think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I think the larger particles will get trapped by these coarse ones first, and then they flow in, they get trapped by the medium. As you can see, the openings on the pink pads are finer. Yeah, this is correct. Okay, so water will hit the mechanical filtration first. We'll get that placed in there. Perfect. And then we'll do our bios. The direction of flow for this filter is that all the water will sink on to the bottom. It gets sucked up from the bottom upwards. That's why the motor housings is on the top. It draws the water up. So we want the coarse stuff, which is this, to be on the bottommost portion, for the reason that I mentioned before. So we'll keep these ones with the dimples on the bottommost layer, right? And then we'll put this there, like that. You don't have to have the same setup every time. If setup doesn't work, you can always change it up next time. So this will be on the bottom as water comes up. Hopefully after it passes through this stage, it'll hit the bio filters, and most of that water will be clean without detritus or particles. Actually, these bio balls, they have mechanical films inside too, so they also act as mechanical filtration. So I'm gonna use this tray in the middle layer. Okay, and then on top of that, I can either put this polishing pad on that layer or on the next layer. It doesn't matter. This is so thin that technically I could cut another layer, but yeah, matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put another layer and add to the top. That's better. Okay. Helps if I put it in without the lid first. All right, and then put that on. And then here's the top housing with the 307 plate facing the front. It's supposed to fit that notch over there. See that notch? And there it is. Ready to go back downstairs and fill it with water. Okay, here we go, guys. We're back downstairs, ready to reassemble this filter. I just placed it down. Here's the hose. Okay, it's very easy. Get that in there and close the latch. Get that seated. Then open the valve. You'll see that water is entering. Water is entering from the tank. Oh, you see it's self-filling. You see the water level is lowering in the tank, and automatically make its way down into the filter. When I brought it downstairs, it was empty. So now it's getting filled. As you can see, the water sound flowing into it. So guys, the reason why it's not picking up the water is because I forgot to put a component back in. I left it at my sink, which is this piece, remember? So let me put it back in right now. Okay, it's as simple as that. And let me put it back up here and redo it. Just got it plugged in again. It's already plugged in. Open up the valve. And there is. Pump it a few times. Okay, it's done. They're waiting upstairs for me to go have dinner. This has taken way too long. I made such a mess. I'm gonna have to come back to make sure that there's no leak. Okay, so we'll see you after dinner, guys. Everything looks good so far. This guy will be happy. All those dirty stuff is all the detritus that's stuck inside the intake and outtake pipe. So it's normal that whenever you first turn on the canister, all that stuff is gonna blow back out into the aquarium. But no worries, it's only gonna get sucked back in anyways. See how some is already getting sucked back into the intake? No worries at all. So thank you very much for watching. Happy fish keeping and happy canister cleaning. Couldn't be happier with my Fluval 307 canister filter. It's been running for over a year, problem free. Highly recommend it, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I shall see you next time.